Greetings, everybody! Welcome back to another commentary. I'm Rhino Dino, and today I decided to do something smaller because it's been long. It's been a few months since the last commentary, and I do apologize for being slow. For a moment, I didn't have many ideas, but recently I got an idea to do this little game, and I decided to bring someone else with me. Say hi.
Hi everybody, it's Klaus. I was in some of the previous ones, like all the Sonic commentaries. So here I am. I'm back.
Yeah, and this game is called Comix Zone, and Comix Zone is a Sega Mega Drive game that released very late into the system's life, and is very, 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 very hard. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this cheat where I get infinite lives.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Absolutely, thank you, AGN. Yeah, that's the only way I can really play this game is by putting a cheat where I get infinite level. Otherwise, I'm like. By the way, are you seeing this, Klaus? Just to make sure.
Yeah. New York City, present day. Of course, it takes place in New York City.
Everything takes place in New York City. Didn't you know?
Oh,
Look at me. So the story
it's Doodle Bob.
Yeah. So the story of Comix Zone is that this guy, Sketch Turner, was sketching up something one day. He was making his comic. Thing is, lightning came, whoa, 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 and then the villain of the story got popped out, and he forced Sketch to go in, and now he has to get himself out of this while avoiding all that the villain writes and draws. It's very interesting game. And yeah, but the thing about this game that is that in general I actually don't have that much to say about the game that I haven't already said. Besides that, the game is beautiful. Honestly, you can really tell why the game took a long time to come out because of how beautiful it looks. But I wanted to use this as a sort of a segue to talk about comic books. I personally don't read many comic books, but I've read a couple of mangas here and there. But your boy Klaus has done comic books, and I wanted to ask, since you do your own comic books. What compelled you to really do comics?
All right. Well, I've been making comics on and off since I was a kid. I really only got serious about it in the last 2 years or so. So it all started back in Sonic Mega Collection. Yes, we always go back to Sonic, right? So Sonic Mega Collection, and in Sonic Mega Collection, there's the extras gallery, and in the extras gallery, there's you can see all the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics that were published up until that point in time. And well, it just had the first issue in full, and then it had just the cover art for all the Sonic comics. And I thought that they looked like the coolest thing ever, like these cover arts. And I was like, oh, I want to make comics when I'm older, just like these Sonic the Hedgehog comics. And so that's like...
Some of those covers were made by Ken Penders, right?
No, he didn't, like, do the covers. They got, like, this guy named Spaz to do pretty much all the cover art. Ken, like, he really only did the artwork on the inside of the actual book, but it was mostly for the B stories at the back of the issue that usually revolves around Knuckles the Echidna, of course. But like Ken was more he wrote more Sonic stories and drew them. Yeah, okay. Even so, I think he would usually like more so be in charge of like inks, inking over other people's pencils, and he like didn't pencil very many issues. But when he did, you could tell because he liked giving the characters he liked giving them like actual muscle definition, which does not work with like that whole rubber hose style. It's a little bit uncanny.
Also, green.
Never forget Green Knuckles, and never forget when Knuckles' father essentially put his egg in the microwave and bathed it in Chaos Emerald radiation, and that's why Knuckles has the spikes on his knuckles, and that's why he's a mutant.
But why explain that? Ken, what are you doing?
And then Knuckles also becomes Jesus, and he walks in water. He leads the echidnas to the Holy Land.
That is Moses. Oh my fucking...
It's great. It's special. So yeah, only actually this year I've actually started reading the Archie Sonics. It's because, like, well, over the years, I found a few issues at the flea markets, and so I've read issues here. And so I started reading the Archie Sonics, like, from the very beginning, and it's been really cool to seeing it. It starts as, like, more like a gag a day comic, kind of just more like a joke comic, and it doesn't actually start being more like serialized until a little bit later and having like an actual like, story arcs.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been pretty fun, like fulfilling that childhood dream of mine to read all the Sonic comics slowly but surely.
What
So,
issue are you on?
let's see, I can actually check right now. I'm on issue 74. Yeah,
Out of 200 and
out of or how like I think there's I think I thought there was closer to 500. I need to check. I don't know.
I thought at least for the main ones, they didn't cross 300s. That's why I remember.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I didn't remember, but yeah, I'll get there
Yeah.
someday.
Someday.
Uh,
You already saw this time Sonic realized that something about war. I forgot the line.
yeah. It's like Sonic finally realized the true meaning of war.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
Yeah. All right. But I'd say, and then I used to make Sonic comics as a kid as well, and I used to make lots of Kirby comics as well because Kirby is easy to draw
Hmm.
because you just circle.
I can't testify.
But yeah, so but I say a thing that really inspires my current art style for my comic. My stuff is definitely more manga inspired because I do all my stuff in black and white because it's a lot faster to do it that way. And then the way I shade is kind of like akin to how they do screen tone. I just do my own thing with it. So then I think growing up, the mangas that inspired me the most were definitely Attack on Titan because I do like the sketchier style of the manga,
Mhm.
and also I got Maximum.
The Trigon.
So
That's the manga I need to read in one of these days because I really enjoyed the anime, and I know
yeah,
that Maximum goes in very different directions, but I'm still
yeah,
curious on it.
yeah. You should definitely read it since it's not going to get a proper anime adaptation
Yeah.
since Stampede and Stargaze are doing their own thing.
Yeah, I find it interesting and also bizarre bringing back Trigon just out of nowhere at many years after the manga ended, but sure.
Yeah, and I'm trying not to be too picky about it because it's like, oh, great, we get more Trigun,
Yeah.
and then we can still get the story of Maximum. Just got to read the manga, and then we get whatever new take they're doing with the Stampede and Stargaze.
Hmm.
So, which Stargaze comes out like what, early next year, I think.
Yeah, I think it should be. I don't remember. I still have yet to watch Stampede, but I do want to watch it. I do want to watch it. I'm just now, at least at time of recording, I'm finally going back to JoJo Part 6 after putting it off for like
Oh,
a few years. Because I watched the first four
yeah.
episodes in 2023, and I didn't come back to it until like a few days ago. So I'm like, okay, now it's like I'm not allowing myself to watch any other anime until I'm done with JoJo Part 6 because it's been put
Oh
off for
yeah.
that long.
Oh yeah, that's a long time. Yeah, I need to watch JoJo Part 6 as well. But I just haven't really been in like an anime watching mood. Like I haven't watched
Hmm.
any anime since I finished watching the Attack on Titan anime like last year.
Mhm.
Like the final episode. Yeah, I haven't touched an anime since.
Oh wow. I'd say Lupin the Third.
Yeah,
Lupin.
one day. I know there's Lupin the Third. I mean, at least you showed us some movies for Lupin.
Yes,
That's
some of
I
them.
know, but Lupin the Third. But it's like just so hard for me to sit down and just watch anything nowadays because I'm
I
like, oh
know.
no, I got to be productive.
For me, I mean, I guess maybe this is my overall mindset, but I do feel like being productive also includes, oh, I want to play this game, I want to do this review, and I want to watch this series and this movie, alongside
Yeah,
other stuff that I'm doing day to day, like trying to find a job and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess for me, for series, it's hard because some series easily lose my interest, And I would say JoJo Part
Yeah.
6 has been kind of a roller coaster of interest. Sometimes it gets more interesting, sometimes it gets more. They're
Mhm.
just constantly talking instead of like acting right away. And then there's a fight scene,
Oh,
and they just kind of stop. It's like, okay. And
yeah.
then for sure, as all fight scenes, you get the problem with Dragon Ball. But I finally watched I finally caught up on the Amazing Digital Circus, and that series interests me, especially starting with like
Yeah.
the second and third episodes. Oh, that interests me. So
Yeah,
it
I
really
need
is a
to.
roller coaster. You know?
Yeah, I need to watch Digital Circus too. Like, I need to watch Digital Circus. I need to watch Murder Hornets, and I still need to watch the Knights of Guinevere Pilot or whatever it's called.
Oh,
So yeah, lots of stuff
hmm
to watch.
I've heard good things about that one,
Mhm.
but I'm not much of a body horror guy, so I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a body horror guy, so
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
This guy
yeah,
knows
I
what's up.
love it. I
You want to
love
talk
it.
about the comics you've made?
Oh, okay, all right. So, with my current era, I posted like my first comic with my current style. It's called Haunt. I posted it to Comic Fury, and maybe if I ask nicely, we can put a link to it down in the
I will
description
try. I need to
if we
sign up for
can.
YouTube ID stuff if I want to put it, but I'll
Oh
try.
wait, oh no, oh, not if you have to sign up for the ID stuff. That's gross.
I mean,
Um,
I'm European, so I guess it shouldn't be as problematic. But I'll
hmm.
see. Or see if I can like just put. I mean, if it's a link to for people to like copy and paste, it's more work and people are less willing to look. So I'll see if I can put the link or not. I'll see.
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Well, yeah, it's a comic theory. It's called Haunt. It's under my username Dire, then Klaus Klaus.
Mhm.
If you want to check that out, so it's like a thriller drama thing about it's just a guy who's really depressed. He's grieving the loss of someone that he loves, and then he finally gets the chance to get his revenge on the thing that did that to him.
Mhm. It's a great comic, by the way. I love
Uh-huh.
reading it. It's like it's interesting. It's 130 pages, but it's a very easy read. Especially like
Yeah.
the first chapter is like very show don't tell, and I really appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna try to do with most of my comics, because I do just want to try to tell the story with the art and have as little dialogue as possible. Also, because I don't like writing dialogue, and also because I hand letter everything, and that takes a while. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like also a stylistic choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other comics you might be working on if you want to tease the audience?
Oh well, okay. Well, my next comic's gonna have a lot of dragons in it, and it's gonna be more like a fantasy series. I'm still working out a lot of little details about that one, so I can't say much. But another one I am considering doing is I want to do a comic adaptation of my favorite video game, Mother 3,
Ooh.
but it's not gonna be a one-to-one adaptation because I'm basically going to restore some of the beta content or in Earthbound 64 Flint was going to be the main character, so I want to restore his role in the story, and so it's like going to be kind of like an alternate retelling of Mother 3.
Interesting.
um, yeah, and then I'm also going to skip over some of the chapters that I don't want to do, like chapter 3, because that's like a side chapter where he plays the monkey getting
Mikey.
getting abused, and I don't want to draw that.
Yeah.
And then chapter 2 is about like one of the other party members we get. I can skip that one. So yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Finally, Earthbound 64 will get its own unique script.
Yeah,
Maybe somebody can
something.
make a pen game with your comic as a basis. That would be interesting.
Yeah, because then I figure, because if I were to just completely like tell the story of Mother 3, then there's no point, because it's like you can go play a perfectly good game just to get the story. But if I put my own twist on it, then I feel like it justifies it enough. And yeah, and like back in the day, I like wanted to do Mother 3 comics, but I didn't feel confident enough in my skills at the time. So I feel like now if I do it, I'm like fulfilling a childhood dream, because because when I was like 15 or something, I did go out and get like a lot of like traditional manga making supplies. I got the good paper. I got a whole pot of ink, and I got the dip pens that the mangaka like using because I was like, oh, I'm gonna draw this just like a real mangaka. And then I tried doing a few pages, and it looked really terrible.
Well, we all start somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
I know I can say. I mean, I don't know comics myself, but I've drawn a few times here and there, and I think some of my older drawings are like very, especially when I tried to imitate like Yakuza, and that didn't work. That just didn't work. Nowadays, whenever I do draw, I think I like doing this thing. That's just a nice thing. Still proud of that Waterworld drawing, personally.
Yeah, and I like the Waterworld drawing, and then I still like that one of like Sonic running, and there's like that sunset in the background.
Oh yes, that was a cool one. That I basically pretty much based it off of a Sonic Frontiers trailer shots, and I just went from there, and it worked, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, it just works.
It just works.
Oh yeah, and then to go back to Dragon Ball Z, I used to make Dragon Ball Z fan comics when I was a kid, of course.
Did Goku and Vegeta kiss?
No, they did not kiss.
Damn, I'm so sad. No.
No. Yeah, but I remember like whenever I was a kid scrolling on DeviantArt, I did accidentally stumble across comics of them kissing, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is this?" That was before I knew about. That was when I was a kid. That was before I knew about all that stuff, and I was like, Holy moly, two big buff guys can kiss? I didn't know.
Blasphemy! 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 Oh, it is fun. Like, I mean, I think everybody has that memory of you encounter something you're not supposed to when you're young, especially in the age of the internet. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It may shape your future. It may not. Or you find out some interesting stuff. Or
for sure.
Yeah. What I find interesting, just to talk about a little about the game. What I find interesting is that it's a beat 'em up, but as you can see, I'm getting hit a lot. Ow.
Oh yeah, and I like that we're fighting inside of the comic panels. I like that the comic panels like burst open, and that's like a cool thing we do in comics. Sometimes we do draw the characters like stepping out of the panel sometimes, and there's like a panel in Dragon Ball where original Dragon Ball where Goku actually destroys the comic panel. He actually breaks it open. Yeah, really cool. Like just the paneling in Dragon Ball in general is just like really good.
Wall break inside of a fourth wall break. That's like.
Whoa.
I also remember that like Gwenpool. There was like this panel involving Gwenpool where she looks at herself in the other panel and like comments on it and stuff like that. That was funny.
Oh yeah, that's fun that they do that.
Oh shit! Ooh. The page is burning. Oh
no!
I gotta get out of here. Go Sketch, go.
That's really cool. That's a really cool effect.
Yeah. I'm breaking open. Here's my. That's Sketch's Rats Roadkill. That's a funny name there. That's not. He curses. And then I'm like, what do I do here?
Who are you?
Oh
no, we're gonna burn to death.
Ow. This is fine.
This fine.
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 Well, I'm still alive. What do I do here? I don't know. This is a part where I thought I was gonna die, but I guess not.
Roadkill looks like he's sniffing that way out. Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing that Roadkill can do. You can sniff out specific hidden passageways and hidden walls. In case anybody was watching the footage, he did help me find an item inside of the comic itself, and which helped me defeat the enemies so I could proceed forward. It's kind of weird how this game kind of sometimes requires you items for you to proceed, otherwise you kind of have to makeshift your way through. There's an obstacle later on that I'll talk about that is just kind of weird. I didn't mention it in my comic scope review on Backlog. Oopsie.
Excuse you. Hiccup.
But yeah, anything else like comic related, like for example after the Archie Sonic comic, comics? What other comics have you read?
Hmm. Well, I didn't read a whole lot of comics for a long time simply because I didn't have any comic shops where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
So I was mostly just reading like lots of manga growing up. Like I read the old Legend of Zelda manga. It's like the first one I read was the one for Four Swords Adventures. I really liked
Oh,
that one.
I didn't know there was a manga for
Um,
that. Hmm.
yeah, they have it for like most of the old Zelda games. Like there's Ocarina of Time, there's Majora's Mask, there's Phantom Hourglass. There's that for the Twilight Princess manga is really good. I haven't read it though.
I hear good things
Um,
about it, and it actually ended,
yeah.
which is interesting. And gave people what they
Oh,
wanted, which is great.
yeah. But I will say the comic series I did like discover that I tried to find as many issues as I could for was one called The Savage Dragon by
Hmm.
Eric Larson. And well, it's basically about this guy who has amnesia. Well, his name is Dragon because he's like a big, muscular looking guy who's green and he has a big old fin on his head,
Cool.
and that's why he calls himself Dragon.
Ah.
Kind of right, but he basically it takes place in Chicago, the city I don't want
Yeah.
recommend you to visit. It takes place in
No, I want to
Chicago.
eat deep dish pizza.
It takes place in Chicago, and there's all these. Well, there are superheroes, but then they're also like mutants, right? And so
Hmm.
the superheroes and the cops are trying to fight against the mutants that are causing trouble. And so Dragon he joins the police force. But so what I like about the Savage Dragon is that okay, in comics there's you have like a writer, then you have a penciler, then you have an inker, then you have a colorist, and it could be different from book to book, right?
Yeah.
But what I like about Savage Dragon is that it reminds me more of manga, and the fact that Mr. Eric Larson he's like writing and penciling and inking every single issue.
Oh wow.
Except for well, if there's like a bonus story or something, that's usually done by somebody else. But he has done every single issue of the Savage Dragon, and I like it because it's like his story, and it's like pretty consistent quality throughout
Mm-hmm. You can
throughout
see
the
his
run, at least
vision.
as much as I've read. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like it because then you know how there's with other comic books sometimes there's like a new story or something and it's like okay this one's not as good or it's very inconsistent with how the character would act or something
Contenders.
and yeah and so that's why I think the Savage Dragon is a lot easier to read because it's like it's very consistent and it's really fun and I like it because it's like it doesn't like ever reboot or anything like it's all just like one continuity and like
Mm.
the passage of time feels very believable and like these characters since they're pretty much been around the whole series you get really attached to them
Interesting.
um
You saying that the guy just like a manga did pretty much everything. Kind of reminds me how many manga artists pretty much overwork themselves doing a lot of stuff and constantly doing
yeah
chapters.
yeah which is at least like on the bright side for Savage Dragon is only one issue a month so he has to ink like 23 pages a month which is a lot more doable than manga doing like over 50 pages a month or
Yeah.
whatever
I remember the seventh part of JoJo, Steel Ball Run. Eventually had like at first it was still like as in the Shonen Jump where it was like one issue a week, but then
hmm
eventually switched over to the seinen part of the Shonen Jump, became more directed towards adults and became a one issue a month, which probably helped with
yeah
Araki, the mangaka.
Yeah, for sure. Because, yeah, it's very unreasonable what they demand of their manga artists over there. I
Hmm.
think monthly publication is just fine. And that's what Attack on Titan did as well. It was one chapter a month. Uh, yeah, because they only have so many series that they don't need to publish one chapter every single week. They can probably put them on rotation.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Uh, I guess I can say in terms of well, I haven't read any comics books, but I've read manga, only well two of them. The first one I ever read was actually a little manga called Gone about this little dinosaur that is just kind of like uh, a force of nature because holy shit he can defeat a lion and stuff like that. It's funny, but it's also very cool and it's also a manga that has no dialogue, which is why sometimes I struggle to say read when you're pretty much just watching images. I don't think there's even
Yeah.
onomatopoeia, so onomatopoeia. So that's very interesting. But it's fun read and it's done. So yeah, and now the other manga that I'm reading is Dan Da Dan, which I enjoyed a lot from. I discovered the anime first. Then I enjoyed that one quite a lot, and I was like so much so that I'm like I'm gonna read the manga. I want to see the rest of the story. And right now, I think we're at chapter 212. There was a I'm not spoiling anything, but there was a big thing that happens in the story that left a lot of fans mixed on. But then this recent chapter came and was like, okay, this makes sense now. Tatsu, give us the juice. We'll get there. We'll get there. This is the section I want to talk about where, because I have the infinite health cheat, if I want to go into the lava, as you'll see in a bit after I defeat this enemy.
Will you not be able to like climb back out?
Just what? I throw the knife. Uh oh.
Oh no! Oh,
You
I
didn't
see.
see any. Basically, with the
Yeah.
infinite, what you need to do actually in the game is actually get hit in the lava to go to the other side and pull the lever. But with this, I needed to use a
Oh.
knife so I can throw to the other side so it hits the lever, so that the platform in the middle could come out. Because if I go into this lava with the infinite health code, I get soft locked. What the hell?
Oh no, that's not good. But I will say that the graphics look really good. Like the
Yes.
lava and how much movement there is, and like this game, it's visually is very impressive.
Hmm. Especially for like Mega Drive, which like the Super Nintendo was like its closest competitor, but I'd say that a lot of Super Nintendo games graphically look better than Mega Drive games, but Mega Drive could do stuff. I'll say yes. I'm saying Mega Drive is still a Genesis. I am a stinky European. So yeah, about you, any manga you've read besides like Trigon Maximum, for example?
Well, yeah, no, I've read plenty. So, Golden Kamui is one of my
Oh,
favorite ones. Yeah, of
you
course, that's
finally
one.
talk about Golden Comedy, and you're
Yeah,
the character you simp for the most, Surumi.
yeah, Sarumi. Yeah, Sarumi. It's like so it's like a manga about a bunch of crazed lunatics trying to hunt down a bunch of tattooed prisoners because their tattoos form a map that's supposed to show them where this gold is, and all these wacky characters have their different reasons for wanting to get this gold. So the main guy Sugimoto, he wants the gold because he wants to use it to take his childhood friend to America so he can get her surgery on her eyes.
Oh, that's a good
Um,
motivation.
yeah, it's a nice motivation for sure. And then, yeah, Survey wants it for a whole bunch of not so good reasons.
I
Uh,
wonder. I wonder what they
yeah,
are. Ooh.
and and then there's like these old samurais like Hijikata, who's a real guy, Nagakura, who's a real guy too. They
Oh
want
wow.
basically want to use the money to basically return Japan to like the age of the samurai.
Uh oh.
Uh, but yeah, it's like a really fun read because you also learn a lot about like the Ainu people, the people who the natives to Hokkaido, and you learn
Hmm.
about their culture and like the way they cook and like some of their beliefs and like there's this main girl, her name is Asurpa, and she's like really into hunting and like survival. So we learn a bunch of like how they set their traps and like how they like what they can eat to survive, and it's like really fascinating actually, and I hope that one
Interesting.
day I can actually go to Hokkaido and visit
Yeah, I
and
wanted to
maybe
go
check
to
out some of the museums.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to go to Hokkaido when I was in Japan, but I just didn't have time. I only went to like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. But I wanted to go to Hokkaido and Okinawa, which I know it's like the most north and the most south of Japan.
Oh yeah.
But I learned when I was in Japan, I learned that yeah, that there are native Hokkaido like the Hokkaido ethnicity and the Okinawa ethnicity, and a lot of people in Okinawa are way more tan than the majority of Japanese people, which is very interesting. It's not a part that
Hmm.
you really know a whole lot. But it's also because when Japan was united in like the beginning of the 19th century, they also made it so that everyone had to be like an ethnicity, and some of the other minor ethnicities kind of like got lost over the years. So I like that
Yeah.
Golden Comedy kind of does represent gives representation to that. That's pretty cool. Also
Yeah,
remember, I saw
especially
a fic.
yeah.
Sorry, but
Mhm.
I think in recent years Japan has been a little bit more conscious about giving some representation to the other ethnicity. So that is neat.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely helps that they help like draw attention to the their people, and in a way it is kind of helping to preserve the culture like a little bit,
Hmm.
and like I knew and all that. It's like a very much like a dying language too, sadly.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's always nice when like some form of media like lets us appreciate another culture.
Indeed.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, a
yeah,
lot of people got
so
into Japanese culture either by manga, anime, or in my case, the
yeah,
video games.
yeah,
Oh boy, I
video
love
games.
video games. I love video games. It's so fun.
Yeah. So other mangas I read whenever I was first getting into manga, I read a lot of Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh,
Uh,
I know.
separate.
Well, a friend of ours really liked that. Really likes that one.
Yeah, he really likes Rurouni Kenshin. So yeah, I've also one of my favorite mangas is Devilman, the original Devilman.
Oh,
Completely divorce it from Crybaby. I don't like Devilman Crybaby at all.
okay, but
Um,
because I don't know anything about Devilman. I do know that there was some divisiveness with Crybaby. What is so different about Crybaby?
I think there's just like way too much like sexual content in it,
Ah, okay.
honestly, and it's like and I think like with some of the themes of the anime and some of the stuff it was trying to say, like a bit basic. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's basically trying to say, okay, like humans are terrible and they're also kind of like demons, and I think it's showing some of the explicit violence and like sexual stuff is just trying too hard to reinforce its themes, and it feels like it's trying to be too in your face about some of its ideas,
Okay.
and then it comes across as kind of like pretentious in a way. At least
Whoa.
it does. At least it does to me. That's just my opinion. But I think the original Devilman, while it does have some of these themes, they're more like in the background. And I think the original Devilman's a little bit more fun to read because yeah, it is still gory, but it's like it's just more about like Akira and his best buddy Rio traveling through time to fight demons, and I just think that's more fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a little bit easier to stomach.
So now I know
Um,
what they called Crybaby. Because they cried during sex. They made a baby.
uh, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I've read the original Speed Racer manga because
Oh, that was
that's
someone Mexico,
s-
right? Or was it someone else?
um,
Because I
can't
actually
remember
don't
on top
remember.
of
I
my
don't know
that's
much stuff
the
because it
Speed
was.
Racer. But yeah, Speed Racer because I watched a bit of Speed Racer as a kid because well, my mom watched it when she was a kid, and so she got me the DVDs so I could watch the Speed Racer anime. So it was
Please
just
don't
kind of
go
nice
over
to
that
see.
cliff. Ah!
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's nice to see where it comes from, you know.
Mhm. Was that enjoyable?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I kind of like going back and reading old manga and like seeing how different the art styles were back then. How it was more like cutesy and yeah, it was a simple read, but it was fun.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever read? Actually, okay, nothing is coming out to my head. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I then of course I've just read like a bunch of like other random mangas, like just like the first issue of them because
Fun.
it was just whatever I could find. Like I still need to read Gone, but
Hmm.
I've read like the first issue of Soul Eater. I've read One Piece, and I have no desire to read the rest of One Piece because it's
Oh,
way too big, way too much of a commitment. Sorry, One
1,000
Piece.
chapters.
And no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I've read the first Pokemon Adventures manga.
Oh,
I've read Dragon Ball. The time I got reincarnated as Yamcha.
no. That. Interesting. I
That
hope you
was
don't get Yamcha again.
yeah, that was fun. There's this other one called like Doubt, and it was a short little one, but it was basically about a bunch of people like trapped in a warehouse, and they have to like figure out which one of them is the killer,
Oh, interesting.
and I have to try to not get killed and stuff.
This is just like Danganronpa.
Yeah, it
Hope.
is. Yeah, let's say I got the first omnibus of Blade of the Immortal. One day I'd like to read Berserk because I've only read like one random issue of that, and I've watched some of the movies. But yeah, because
I've
that's
only
cool.
watched the 1997 anime
Oh
with a
yeah,
friend, and it was quite the experience not sure if I'll read the manga because I know that there's never been like a proper full-on anime adaptation of the other arcs. There was an anime they used CGI in like 2016. People didn't like that one, so
Oh, yeah, yeah. That one looked ugly, but yeah, no, I've only like seen the Golden Age movies, but I think I really would love to go and just read the manga because it's I want to see the beautiful artwork, right?
yeah,
Because I remember there's like this really beautiful panel of like this dragon like wrapped around the tower of a castle. Like, oh gosh, that's gorgeous. But I just kept putting Berserk off because I was like, oh, I'll read it when Mira finishes it, right? And
uh,
then well,
he unfortunately
yeah,
passed away. Yes.
he passed away. So
I think one of his closest friends is gonna try and continue it from what he remembers. So also the game is glitching out here. Oh, who would do?
oh yeah, yeah. Look, see now we can see all the pencils and things are colored in, and
Yeah.
oh yeah.
The objective of this boss is pretty much to bait him to get to the ground and push the lever so there's an explosion, so we can kill him quickly.
Oh,
Then, if you want to get the good ending, you gotta make sure to save Elisa, who's trapped in there. So you gotta find
oh
the switch.
no.
And I was like, before time runs out, because if time runs out, you get the bad ending. If you can get it the lever before, which I forgot where the lever was. So I'm here trying to find it like a dumbass. Okay, find the enemy first. Where was it? Ah, there it is. And there you go. I got the good ending.
Hooray. Holy.
Ah,
Oh.
kaboom!
Dun, 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 dun.
And hey, even Elisa got out of the comic, which is interesting because I think she was made in the comic for the comic. Huh.
Oh yeah.
And
So moral of the story is that if you draw your waifu in your comic, she will come to life someday and you can live happily ever after.
that's oh my god, I didn't make that connection. And because that comic sold became a commercial smash, Sketches Issue sold on the first day, becoming the best-selling comic book ever. Elisa Segan joined the army, soon to become chief of security of the United States. And
What?
Woodkill was donated 100 pounds of mozzarella when he wasn't sleeping under a pile of Sketch's dirty socks. He spent most of his time exploring the city's new sewer system. They all had lived happy ever after until. Yeah, they're like trying to bait for a sequel, even though this game never got a
Oh,
sequel.
we never got a sequel. Sad.
There is supposedly gonna get a movie. Interestingly enough, I don't
Really?
know when that's coming out. It was announced a few years back, and it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, like
I
an
hope-
animated movie?
We don't know. We don't know if it's live action or
Okay.
animated. I mean, if it is a live action animated hybrid, this would actually be a movie that would benefit from that. You know, from a live action animation hybrid, because the comic can be animated, and then outside of the comic, it's live action. I think that would
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
work.
that would be. Yeah, I like to see another good like hybrid movie again. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Comix Zone. Do you have anything to say about anything we talked about or the game before we close things out?
Well, I mean, the game like looks. I think the idea of the game is like really cool to like go into the comic and how it actually uses the layout of like a comic page to kind of like show the flow and like the level design. I think that's cool, and I think that's something that would be cool if they would try that again, but like using like current technology, because they could, make it like put like a little filter over everything and make it actually look like we're on paper, kind of like how like Okami has a kind of a parchment effect to it.
Oh yeah.
Something like that would be really neat. I think it's like a really good looking game. Like graphically, it's super nice. And I guess I have one more comic recommendation for everybody. Another awesome one I read is Manga Messiah, a manga version of the Bible.
What?
Yes, Manga Messiah. It's really good.
I've never heard about it, but there you go, everybody. Manga Messiah. That's for me. I guess to close things out, Comix Zone is a decent game, but I'll be lying if I said that the reason why I have a lot of fun, I have fun with it is because I put out the cheats, and it feels very weird to recommend. Oh yeah, you should play this game, but if you put the cheats of the infinite health, which is, it's bizarre, but it's one of those things like. Yeah, because otherwise the game is too hard. You die in one life, you don't have continues. Yeah, it's a short game, so it's hard to recommend. But it's also like there's good stuff here. So that's why I do admire and respect Comix Zone at the end of the day. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary and see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.